How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing another interview question. Today our question is going to be from Facebook, and this is actually Facebook's #1 most frequently asked question, and it's called verifying an alien dictionary. Alright guys, today we're going to be reviewing Facebook's #1 most frequently asked question according to LeetCode. And before we jump into our problem today, I just want to remind you guys to drop a like on this video and subscribe below if you guys are new to the channel. I upload a video almost every single day now covering a different interview question that you'll see at these large FAANG companies. And I try and do everything I can to help you guys pass all your interviews. If you guys need help with resume reviews, study plans, mock interviews, and things like that, you guys can check out my Patreon in the description below. And definitely leave a comment letting me know what interview question you want me to cover next. So with that being said, let's jump into our problem for today, verifying an alien dictionary. And our problem description says, in an alien language, surprisingly, they also use English lowercase letters, but possibly in a different order. The order of the alphabet is some permutation of lowercase letters. Given a sequence of words written in an alien language in the order of the alphabet, return true if and only if the given words are sorted lexicographically in this alien language. Okay, so kind of confusing problem description probably, but all it's really asking for is given an order of characters for this specific alien language and a list of words, check if the words that were given are sorted lexicographically or in ABC order. So to get in our first example here, if we had the words hello in LeetCode and they gave us the order here of their alphabet, right, which would really mean that their A is H and their B is L, so on and so forth. So that's just the order or the language that they speak, and that's how their order of their alphabet occurs. So now we're just asking, are these words in ABC order? I guess you would say HLA order. So if we had H here, right, and L, we would then look into the order of their alphabet and ensure that H comes before L to guarantee that they are sorted. And if they weren't right there, we would just return false, but it looks like they are, right? We could see here H comes before L, this word comes before this word, so far they're still sorted. So now if we looked at the E's, right, or the next character would be E's, they both have E's, so that's fine. Now if we looked at the third character, right, we'd see L and E again, and that would mean that L has to come before E in the order to ensure that they're sorted correctly, and L does, right? L is the second character in their alphabet, and E is somewhere past L. So if you follow that fashion doing all those comparisons, you'll see that the words are sorted lexicographically or in ABC order or in HLA order, so we'd output true. Now if we go to our second example, the same exact thing is going to follow, right? We're going to have the same exact logic. We're just trying to see if these words are sorted according to this specific alphabet order. Now we'd return false, and the reason for that is because D comes after L in this language. Right, so if we were comparing this D with this L, right, the fourth character of each of those respective words, we'd see that D comes after this L, and the problem is that this word comes before this world, right? So that's a problem. We could say there that they're not lexicographically sorted, so we'd return false. Now in our third example, if we had apple and app, and this was our order, they tell us that the first three characters app match, and the second string is shorter in size. So according to lexicographical sorting order or rules, apple is greater than app, so the word should really be flipped, right? Meaning that false, they're not in lexicographical order. So hopefully that actually makes sense what we're trying to do now in this problem. And then we are told a couple constraints. So the constraints are that a word's length, so however many words that we're given is between 1 and 100 inclusive. We're told that the length of each word is between 1 and 20 characters. We're also told that the order.length is equal to 26. So we're always given 26 alphabetical characters. And then finally, all characters in words I in order are English lowercase letters. So even though they have some weird alphabet, they're lowercase English letters, and that's guaranteed every time. We're gonna have 26 of those, and they're always lowercase English letters. So now let's talk about how to solve this. And the reason why this problem, again, is kind of confusing, but at least good in the sense that you can rationalize it and think about it, is because you can think about this in the real world, right? As humans, we look at words all the time and sort them and put them in specific orders, so we could do the same here, right? And what we said is we're really just trying to mimic sorting things or guaranteeing that things are in alphabetical order, but the only difference is, or the only caveat is that they have a different order for their letters. So the first thing we want to do is somehow know where something occurs in order, right? So if every single time we have to check if one letter comes before the next letter, we'd have to scan through our order string and find where they appear with respect to each other, right? But that's going to be kind of slow. So what we want to do is somehow have a lookup to know how far into our order a specific letter is. So a really easy way to do that is we could actually just put every single character's ASCII value into an integer array and then map it to the order that appeared inside of our order string. So what that would effectively allow us to do is know where inside of our order string a specific letter occurs. So then we can compare those two letters in constant time. So that might be a little bit confusing, but when I get the code down, I think it'll be a little bit more clear. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is just try and find a way to standardize that alphabet and just have really quick access to comparing two different characters. And then we just need to go through that logic, right? We need to take a word and compare it to every single other word. And for each of those comparisons, we need to compare the letters in each of the individual words and make sure that they're in the right order. So that's really all we have to do. It's not actually that bad. So let's start getting into our code. So the first thing that I said is we want an integer array that's going to allow us to create a very fast access for what order the characters occur in, right? Or being able to compare two characters. So I'm going to create an integer array and I'm going to call this alphabet. And this is going to be a new integer array of 26 characters. And the reason why it's 26 characters is because they told us it only contains lowercase English characters. And as far as I know, the English language only has 26 alphabetical characters. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to iterate through our order and we're going to place the things into our alphabet. So we're going to say for int I equals 0 while I is less than order dot length I plus plus. And so now what we can do is we could say put this character in our alphabet. So this will be order dot char at I. And we're going to say minus a. And we're going to set that to the ith position. So what that's going to allow us to do is every single time we see a character down below in our logic, we could actually look up in our alphabet where that character occurs, minus a, and that's going to give us the order of it, right? Because I is our index. So we're walking through the order. So we're going to say the 0th character is this. The first character is this. And that will allow us to have constant time access to compare two characters. So now we have our alphabet, and now we just want to go through the logic of what we just said, right? We need to run through every word, compare it to every other word in order, and then compare the characters of each of those words. So we could say for int I equals 0, while I is less than words dot length, I plus plus. And now we want to compare it to every other word, right? So we just say for int j equals I plus 1, while j is less than words dot length, j plus plus. Great. So now we have pointers pointing at two different words, right? So at first it'd be the 0th word and the first word, and now we want to compare all the k characters in each of those words. So first, I just want to make sure that because the words could be different lengths, I want to make sure that I'm never going out of bounds of those words. So I'm going to say int min equals math.min of words I.length and words J.length. And so what that's going to allow us to do is just know however far we can traverse, right? If the limiting factor is going to be the shorter word, so I know that if there's a length 10 and a length 5, I should only be comparing those 5 characters. So now I could say for int k equals 0, while k is less than my min, k plus plus. And now we want to get the two different characters to compare, right? So that's going to be the kth character of the ith word and the kth character of the jth word. So we're going to say character I char equals words I, so the ith word dot char at k. Now I'm going to copy and paste this, and this is just going to be the jth character, or the kth character of the jth word. Great, so now we have those two different characters. So the first comparison we want to have is just if the I character is strictly less than the J character in our alphabet, then we know that we're done, right? That word is alphabetically sorted, so we could just break and start comparing the next word. So let's do that. So if alphabet of I char, and again minus a, if that's strictly less than our alphabet of J char minus a, then we can break, right? Because we know that those words are alphabetically sorted. And that's great. So now we can just start comparing the ith word to the next word, right? J plus 1 now. Great. So now, what's the other thing that we know? Well, if we find a case where the J char is greater than the I char, then we know that actually these things cannot be lexicographically sorted, so we can just return false. So else if alphabet of J char minus a is greater than, or sorry, less than alphabet of I char minus A, we could just return false right here. So now the third and final check that we want to have, right? So if they're not less than, they're not greater than each other, that means that they're equal to each other, right? And that's not particularly interesting because that just means that we have to keep comparing the next characters, right? The next character would be k plus 1. But the thing that is interesting is this last case in our examples, right? Apple and app. If we get to the place where we just compared their last characters, right? We need to make sure that the ith word is less than the jth word, right? Because if they have the same characters like app and apple, we need to make sure that the shorter word comes before the longer word. And if that's not the case, then we could return false as well. So I'm going to say else if k is equal to min minus 1, right? Which means that we just compared their last characters because this is the last else if statement. So that's guaranteed that we just compared their last characters, and words I.length is greater than words j.length, then we said that that's a problem and we have to return false. So now guys, if we get through this entire loop, right, comparing each of the words and then for each of the words comparing all their k characters, and we've never returned false, we would just return true. So now let's quickly run through what we're doing again. So the first thing we're doing is we're just creating an alphabet, right? Something that makes sense to us so that we could have O of 1 access to compare two different characters and know if one is greater than, less than, or they're equal to each other. So to do that, we're going to put everything that's inside of the order into our alphabet, and we're going to say each of those characters in order, right? Because they give it to us in order, right? That's the characters of their alphabet. We're going to put that character minus the A character at the ith position, and that will help us compare characters in constant time. Then we're going to go through all of our words, and for every single one of our words, we're going to compare it to every other word. So now we have pointers at two different words, and we're going to do something like this. Compare, 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 move, compare, compare, compare. Now we're comparing those two words, and for each of those words, we need to look at all of their characters and make sure that they are in lexicographical order, right? Which means that if the I character, or the occurrence of wherever that character occurs in their alphabet, is less than the J character, we could break, right? Because then we can go to the next word. Otherwise, if we're in the case where it's the opposite, right, the J character's occurrence is earlier than the I character's occurrence in order, we have to return false. And finally, our last and a little bit more hidden check that we need to have is if we just compared all their characters and the ith word is greater than the jth word, that's also a problem. So we'd return false. And finally, if we get through this entire comparison, we could return true because we know that they're then lexicographically sorted. So now, let's talk about our runtime and space complexity, right? So our runtime is what are we going to be doing? We're going to compare every word to every other word. So let's call words n. So we have n words, and we're comparing every word to every other word, so that's going to give us n squared runtime. But on top of that, for each of those n squared comparisons, we're going to be comparing m letters, right? So m is going to be the maximum number of letters that we can have inside of any word. Technically here, they told us that it's a constant of 20, so I guess it depends if you really want to include that in your runtime or not. I probably just would to tell the interviewer you know what you're talking about and you're not leaving anything out. But I would say the runtime is n squared times m, again, because the n squared comparisons between the words, and for each of those n squared comparisons, you're going to compare m letters. In terms of our space complexity, here you could say it's constant, right? Because we're told that we're only going to have 26 letters ever. So regardless of how many words we have, we always know that we're only going to use O of 26 memory, so therefore it's constant. So now let's run this code finally. Let's make sure that it works. I forgot parentheses on these. So now let's run this, make sure that it works again. Awesome, and it does. So guys, that's how to solve verifying an alien dictionary in Java. Again, this is Facebook's most frequently asked questions, so make sure you guys understand this. If you guys don't, leave a comment, let me know. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.